Hello music fans, welcome to the Death by Unicorn channel. I'm here to talk about 3 new releases that I heard that came out on November 3rd. 2 of them are EPs and one of them is a full-length LP, and I'll talk about them in my order of preference, starting with Gong and their album Unending Ascending. This is psychedelic space rock with some jazz and progressive influences. Sometimes they're classified as Canterbury scene prog. Now it's hard to count how many albums this multinational band that formed in Paris in 1967 has. I think this will technically be the 16th album released under the name Gong, but there were at least 8 released under the name Pierre Moreland's Gong, 4 as Gongzilla, 1 as Gong Espresso, 1 as New York Gong, and a bunch as Mother Gong. And seemingly those are all with different sets of members going off and forming different branches of the band. I had heard some of their songs before and enjoyed their spacey ambient vibes, but this is the first time I've listened to a full album by them, and I really enjoyed this, so definitely check out Unending Ascending. Now I'll probably get sucked down the rabbit hole and need to listen to all the Gong work, so if there are any Gong experts out there, let me know in the comments which albums to start with in their big discography, and if there are any that are totally skippable that I should avoid. This album, Unending Ascending, it reminds me of Syd Barrett era Pink Floyd right away in the opening track, Tiny Galaxies. The second track, My Guitar is a Spaceship, is also great. And there's my favorite song here though is Choose Your Goddess. There's lots of cool odd time signature stuff and time signature changes, polyrhythm, syncopations all out the whole album. But this one is where it really grabbed my attention the most and where I really got into the rhythmic aspects of the music. There's also a lot of good atmosphere and spaciness in the production. I highly recommend checking this whole album out. And I think it's just amazing that a band that started so long ago is still going, still putting out quality music. But I looked into it, I guess they have no original members left in the band, so maybe that explains how they're keeping it fresh. Unfortunately, it looks like several past members have passed away, so it wouldn't be possible to have the original lineup anyway. And the second album that I want to talk about is actually an EP, and it's by Toehider, and it's called the Horse EP. This is kind of progressive rock, it's got some metal influences. It's the 4th of 12 EPs that Toehider is making in 2023. The last song on this EP, E-Snout, was actually truly a horrible song, but I see in the description of the EP on his Bandcamp that he tried to make the worst song he can, so it's kind of intentional. It's got like really ridiculously overused auto-tune and terrible vocal production sounds, really irritating. The lyrics also seem pretty ridiculous, but it's all kind of fun. It's like watching a movie that's so bad it's good. But the other 3 songs on the album that kick it off are actually great. The first song, Horse Song, has a traditional heavy metal vibe with the typical Iron Maiden galloping rhythm. Perhaps that's why he called it the Horse Song, because it sounds like a gallop. And that song also has some great punk energy to it as well. The vocals on this song are just amazing. In the second track, How Do I Dial It Down? I like how he sings in his lower register. He usually sings really high, so it was a nice change to hear him singing low, and he does it really well. But later in the song, he hits some of the most intense high notes as well. So this song, How Do I Dial It Down? It just has one of the wildest vocal ranges I've heard. And I like the ending orchestral stuff on the song as well. It sounds really epic and cinematic. The third song, Nobody Wants to Hear Another Song About Your Heart, is more of an acoustic rock song, and it's pretty good as well, but it's really those first 2 tracks that are really awesome for me. And lastly, I want to mention Spiritbox and their EP, The Fear of Fear. This is kind of progressive metalcore. It's got some gent vibes to it, but there's also a lot of pop and alternative and post-metal sounds mixed in here. It's the 4th EP by this Canadian band. There's great female vocals on here with both harsh screaming and clean singing from Courtney LaPlante. And she always writes and performs great melodies when singing, and she can scream like a beast when it's breakdown time. So check it out if that sounds appealing to you. And that's it for stuff that I checked out that came out on November 3rd, 2023. Let me know if there's anything else great that came out recently down in the comments, and what do you think about these ones? And until next time, peace out.